When I explore, I unleash the power of more. New Lakme Absolute Explore Eye Collection. 8 glittering liquid eyeshadow duos and 10 metallic gel liners. Infinite looks to explore. Go pop, edgy, bold, glam and more. Explore something new. Explore more for every you. Lakme. Reinvent.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 22nd edition of Sustainable Fashion Day. I hope you all are doing well because this day is very, very important, since this is a conversation that is very important. Welcome to Circular Design Challenge. But first up, let me tell you a little more about what we do at Sustainable Fashion Day. Sustainable Fashion Day has been a milestone in the fashion industry where us have been curating and doing incredible collaborations to bring to fore thought leadership, partnerships, discovery of talent, and a lot more with partners, collaborators across ministries, agencies, different countries, designers, and whatnot. Highlighting environmental impact, looking at circularity, and so much more, today we bring you the 4th edition of Circular Design Challenge. The finalists today have so much more that we don't even know who our favorites are. I now welcome Shweta Salve, who's going to be the host for today and take you through the rest of the program. Have a great day. Thank you so much. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Darshana, and I look after all the sustainability initiatives at Rise Worldwide. Have a great show. Thank you. Shweta?
Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shweta Salve, and thank you for that lovely introduction, Darshana. Firstly, let me say how wonderful it is to be here back in Delhi at FDCI X Lakme Fashion Week 2022. It's wonderful to meet everybody in person, old friends and new, and discover new talent. Well, without much ado, let's welcome the 4th edition of Our Elan Presents Circular Design Challenge in partnership with FDCI and Lakme Fashion Week, United Nations in India and United Nations Environment Programme, India's largest award for sustainability. Circular Design Challenge was launched in 2018 as a discovery and an accelerator platform for design entrepreneurs working in fashion and with circularity actually at its core. In this 4th edition, we have 6 wonderful finalists doing remarkable work in circular fashion. These finalists have gone through 2 rounds of rigorous shortlisting before they are here right now today this afternoon. They will present a 3-minute live pitch followed by a Q&A with our jury. The winner of this esteemed challenge, well, now this is interesting. They take home a lot of prizes, but what's amazing is the winner gets 20 lakhs, and in addition to that, a showcase opportunity at the following edition of Fashion Week, that's next year, and access to industry experts and mentorships. Now that's worth fighting for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite our guest of honor, Mr. Shombi Sharp, United Nations Resident Coordinator in India, to say a few words.
That's right. I feel like I should be dancing or something. Greetings, I just wanted to say, मुझे CDC में आकर बहुत खुशी हुई. On behalf of the United Nations, it's a great honor and pleasure to be here today joining Lakme Fashion Week and FDCI for this really important event. We've been a partner of the Lakme Fashion Week now for 5 years. I'm representing the whole UN system because we all value sustainability in fashion. Also very pleased the UN Environment Programme is a co-sponsor of this particular CDC Design Challenge Award. We're also pleased to partner with Rise Worldwide and the clothing manufacturers industries of India in the project SURE. So I think that we've seen the results of this awards in the past have produced some incredible winners who have gone on to really impressive careers in the global fashion industry. I wanted to just mention in 2019, I was a sari, one with an incredible approach toward a principle of philosophy of recycling saris, and went on to partner with Gucci and other global greats. I think the message we want to give here, though, is that as much as fashion brings joy to our lives, and as much as we are all participants and consumers of fashion, some more successful than others, I'm not always very successful, that we need to be aware of the big role that fashion industry plays and value chains play in the triple planetary crisis. And the UN IPCC report just released, the latest one last month, has really shown that we are in crisis. The world is in crisis, people are in crisis, and it's incredibly important that we recognize the fashion industry, for example, contributes something like 8 to 10% of global emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, 20% of wastewater in the world as well. So it's critically important that the fashion industry, which does so much good, obviously cultural creativity, employment, but that it also takes very, very seriously the responsibility of making change in the world. And here I'm very pleased to say that India as a whole, at the COP26 summit recently, made very, very ambitious targets and commitments for changing global emissions and increasing adaptation, making communities resilient to inclement weather events. And this really is something so important, and it's critical. I'm so pleased to see the fashion industry making its own leadership role here clear, because the world will not achieve the Sustainable Development Goals without India. Something like half of all Sustainable Development Goals and targets actually needs to be achieved here in India. So this event today is not only about the limitless creative potential of Indian creative industries and the fashion industry, and about changing a revolution in the way that people consume and produce here in India. It's very much about leading on the global stage. So let me just thank all of you. Bahut Dhanyavad. Really looking forward to being a member of the jury, and I can't wait to see what amazing talent and creativity we have waiting before us. Thank you so much. Bahut Dhanyavad.
Please let's have a round of applause for Mr. Shombi. Thank you so much. Circular Design Challenge was conceived with Our Elan Fashion for Earth with an aim to foster and recognize emerging talent in the country. Our Elan Fabric 2.0. Now you wonder what that is, right? It's the next generation fabric made from specially engineered fibers and filaments from Reliance Industries Limited. They offer specialty products that have distinct value addition, catering to areas like wellness, high performance, aesthetics, and sustainability. The highlight of their range is Our Elan Green Gold, made from 100% post-consumer PET bottles using efficient and eco-friendly manufacturing process. Did you know that Reliance recycles about 2 million PET bottles per year to provide sustainable raw material to the fashion industry? I know all this probably is a bit confusing. You don't know what I'm talking about. What is this fabric? How do they do this? I mean, yeah, I would like to know that too. So you know what? Let's make it easy and let's have a short AV that can explain exactly how this fiber is made and how challenging the landscape, how amazing it is for our sustainable fashion, and how this fabric is kind of adding to the sustainability. So let's have a look. Wonderful. Well, now we have an insight of how this wonderful fabric is made. Well, without much ado, let's call our esteemed panel of the jury. All right, let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Atul Bagai, Head of Country Office, United Nations Environment Program, India. Welcome, sir. Anita Chester, Head of Materials, Laudes Foundation. Welcome. Jamal Sheikh, National Editor, Brunch and New Media Initiatives, HT Media Limited. Payal Jain, Principal Designer at Payal Jain. And of course, Mr. Shombi Sharp, United Nations Resident Coordinator in India. Welcome, jury, and a big round of applause, please. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, without much further ado, let's begin the show, what we are here for. Can we have the AV for our first finalist, Shamar?
Leather industry was suffering from the shortage of the leather. So this idea came through the new material. Our products are made from the recycle or industrial waste, which is re-rubber. and which is coming from the waste tubes and tires. Dharavi is Asia's biggest slum. It's known as a recycle hub. So we are collecting our tubes or waste material from there, and we are processing that and converting into the sheets. Luxury has our own value and own history. So we are crafting our bag as an artwork. We have to engage Dalit women artisans to expand this community. Chamar as a derogatory term. It's known as the untouchable people or Dalit people who are working like dirty jobs. So there is no respect in India. We are trying to give them a visibility, fair wages.
When I wake up, I can't even stay up. I slept through the day. I'm not getting younger.
All right, gentlemen, let's have our next finalist, Sana.
No, yeah. Chamar. Wait, Chamar has to do the presentation. Do that again.
Wait. 1 minute. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get our next finalist on, I think it's time to hear what our first finalist would like to say. So please put your hands together for Sudhir Rajbhar from Chamar.
Go.
You need to be told. There's nothing even.
This is what I told you, right? You don't have to say anything.
So they said they
You have to announce the designer.
okay.
Right? You don't have names, no? She has.
I
Okay, anyway, now you
got
stay
it.
with me.
It's okay if she doesn't. The name is coming on the side. It's
Okay,
not
Darshana,
needed.
but she said Sana, so I couldn't send him on.
The mic is. Yeah. Hi, I am Sudhir Rajbhar, and I started this project in 2015 after this beef ban and the shortage of the leather industry. And then I started this project with Chamar artisans who are known as the untouchable people in India. So now we are using as a Chamar as a brand, not like hopeless or yeah. So this is how we are working with the recycled like waste material, it's industrial waste which is coming from the tubes and tire, and we are converting into the sheet, and we are making the handcrafted product. Thank you.
Can I call Sana? Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I'm sorry. You just said jury open.
Jury, can we have the question and answers, please?
It's in the flow, guys. Why are you not seeing the flow, guys? We discussed it. Please go between question and answers. Sorry.
Hello.
You know what?
Hi, that's tremendous work you're doing, Sudhir.
Let's
Thank
do
you.
what we decided.
One question I have is,
Yeah.
in your collection of, I mean, it's amazing that you take care of workers in giving them decent working conditions and are using creative materials. How do you look at your supply chain and, you know, the waste workers that are involved in collecting the scrap that you need of tubes and tires? What about them? Are you also looking beyond just what you're doing within your unit?
Yeah. And you know, the Dharavi is like known as a recycle hub. So we are connecting, it's a micro industry. So we are collecting our material, the waste from there, and converted into the new form. And then how the jobs are not there, so we are trying to create the opportunities for them. So this is really important for our brands.
Hi, so loved what you showed. Very, very nice. Great
you.
work you're doing. What printing processes are you following? Because I saw a lot of prints in what was on the ramp.
This printing fabrics you're talking about. This.
What kind of dyes do you use? Is that sustainable? The processes that you're following for
The
printing?
process are we are for the fabric we are using the waste saris, and we are fused with the khadi material, and these are the garment. And for the rubber we are using the pigment to make them a colorful.
Hi, sorry, thank you so much. I mean, really wonderful work and very impressive. And I wondered, could you maybe just say a word about, are you seeing impacts on the community that you're working with? Obviously, you said that it's a, you know, a good job opportunity, livelihoods, this sort of a thing. Are there any other sorts of impacts in terms of the people that you're working with in the community?
Yeah. So we are currently working with the government leather working school, and we are giving them a training. And our agenda is to bring more Dalit women artisans. There is not any single master woman craftsmanship. So we are more into the bring like craft, woman craftsmanship. Thank you.
Can you hold your mic closer? It's not audible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the next AV of our second finalist, Sana.
To build a truly circular economy, we will have to find solutions that comply with the norms of the ecology. We are finding ways to manage waste. We are still not discovering newer ways of making products that don't create waste. That's how I developed Planar Flux, which is my zero waste cutting technique. We're using recycled materials and recycling post-industrial cotton and polyester yarns. So far, we have been able to save nearly 3 lakh liters of water, about 210 kgs of carbon emissions from reaching the atmosphere, and we have put back about 100 kgs of waste back into the system through our textile and manufacturing processes.
Sanaz model. Hood. Just put the hood. Guys, just put the hood. Whoever has it. Not me.
80% of a product's environmental impact is determined at the design stage. This shows a compelling need for design to get efficient. But is garment design smart enough? Imagine a solution that can eliminate waste, reduce consumption by 40%, cutting operations by 45%, and sewing operations by 25%, all without the need for any additional industrial infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Planar Flux, a zero waste cutting technique I invented in 2015 that uses concepts in topology to create garments engineered for sustainability. International license, Planar Flux is a globally accepted, published and taught technique and was also included into the official syllabus at Iowa State University. Clothing patterns have been made pretty much the same way since the Middle Ages, and this very process is the reason for a 20% wastage at the cutting table. Since climate change is time sensitive, reducing cutting waste can create an impact without any loss of time in doing so. I started my label Sana Sharma in order to bridge this gap in the industry. We make products that are high on comfort and style to make sustainability desirable. By using recycled handloom materials and engaging women weavers, we are creating social impact through a carbon neutral textile process. Our collection here is zero waste and features layers and volumes with an average consumption of just 2 meters per garment, saving 18,000 liters of water and 86 kilowatt hours of energy. With over 10 stockists, we are globally available and have been featured by WWD, Fashion United and Vogue. We are also a registered UN SDG Action Initiative and are part of the United Nations Conscious Fashion and Lifestyle Network. A circular economy will need circular systems created by mindful designers, for which we are creating frameworks in education where sustainability is a core parameter of good design. While there has been significant progress in recycling and reusing waste, the time has come to create solutions that don't just manage waste that exists, but can prevent new waste from entering the system. We are envisioning and realizing the emergence of an industry that uses zero waste strategies that blend science with fashion for future-proof solutions. So I invite each one of you to join this movement to revolutionize fashion from being a disruptor to being an enabler of rapid environmental and social change. Thank you.
Can I? No, Sana, thanks a lot for that pitch, and I think you should have been an environmentalist rather than a textile designer. You're speaking the right words, carbon neutrality and words like that, and I hope they are getting integrated into the work you're doing. What I could make out from the presentation was that you're looking at two aspects. One is your cutting technology, which is pretty new and different, that has led to less waste, and the other is, of course, the use of recycling products, and both are very important aspects of a circular economy. I just wanted to get to know more about this cutting technology you're talking about, and what
Right.
is so special in it that has led to the waste minimization,
So
and
we
whether
use-
you've patented it or not?
Yes, so right now we have an international license, but a patent is underway. So we use a concept in topology. Topology has basically to do with the study of properties of geometric objects which are preserved under deformations like bends and twists. So a lot of the garments you would have seen a lot of bends and twists. So we've used those concepts and fused it with pattern making to create zero waste garments. So there's also the use of the two sides of the material get used in the same design. So that's where we get the extra length. So that's a whole concept in its own that I can't reveal too much about here.
Sana, congratulations, fantastic work. Your clothes look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Non-technical question. We're at an event, India's largest fashion event, where a lot of people make the mistake of wearing clothes just once. If I were to ask you to give them a message, what would you tell them?
Well, I think style is timeless and fashion can keep changing. But what I like to personally follow is that if you're creative, you can find ways of using the same garment in multiple ways. And in fact, planar flux is actually an example of that. You can use the same garment, the same slash lines can create multiple styles. So it's rooted in circularity that way. And we also have a take back program. If some of our customers want to give back their clothes, we will upcycle them, recycle them for, for circularity.
Fantastic answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's done. You want to go? All right, thank you.
Thank you. That was Sana from Sana. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have our third finalist, Satat.
In fashion, when we combine sustainability with craft culture and practices. We are converting reclaimed teakwood blocks into beautiful sustainably handcrafted jewelry. These wooden blocks that were previously used in the construction of houses are given a new life and form at Satat. The making process we follow to make our jewelry is 100% handcrafted by our brilliantly skilled craftsmen, making it very low in its carbon footprint from raw material stage to the whole process. Through combining an age-old craft of block making with sustainability, we have created socio-economic benefits for such craftsman families. We've used and repurposed roughly around 100 kgs of wastewood blocks till date in its original form, reusing material which is equivalent to 165 to 180 kgs of CO2.
those choosing a life of conscious sustainability are pioneering a new civilizing process. Simple but beautiful lines by Duane Elgin, an American author. Lines that remind me of my own sustainable journey. A very good morning to everyone. I'm Radhika, owner and designer at Satat, making a difference, creating wonders from waste. A while back, I chose to live a conscious and a waste-free life and committed myself to sustainability in every aspect, from chemical-free laundry detergent to sustainable menstruation. Taking my commitment further, 4 years ago, I took the opportunity to start Satat for creating sustainable products, specifically fashion jewelry, a polluted but overlooked industry. Since then, it has been a heartfelt journey of struggles and achievements. This journey where I'm the sole person doing everything from designing to accounting is a tough one, but totally worth it because the result is tremendous. What keeps me going is the excitement to work with natural materials, waste ingredients, and the craft. Today, I'm here to share the same excitement with a number of people and create a community. At Satat, creating jewelry from reclaimed teakwood, we have roughly saved 281 kgs of CO2 equivalent carbon footprint from raw material to packaging. The pieces you see on the ramp and with you are crafted with hours of unique craftsmanship from a material that was waste a while ago. And these pieces are colored with 100% natural ingredients like indigo, turmeric, etc. It's a proud moment for us to say that we have created an alternate income for these craftsmen using the traditional process of block making. For this collection, we've actually taken circularity to the next step and created beads out of the extra leftover wood and added brass elements that are easily openable, thereby being easily repolishable, increasing the longevity of the product. So a funny story, my mother initially once laughed and asked, "But who will wear your wooden jewelry?" To her surprise, I proved that there is a market for this unique product with the sales and business we got in the coming time by tying up with more than 36 stores. As per Allied Market Research, the fashion jewelry market is estimated to be at $2,100 million by 2027 in India. Assuming there are 5,000 brands catering to this market, our minimum potential market is $500,000. The global market is even bigger. Satat is the future of fashion jewelry, and I would love to send this sustainable piece of jewelry to each and every part of the world. We've already served more than 1,000 customers. It's time to do more. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Radhika, for your pitch and a very interesting aspect of this whole textile designing. You said a very interesting thing in the AV, and you began your pitch with that about looking at the whole process from the production to the end of useful life, which certainly is the basis of circular economy, and also this is something that needs to be understood by everyone, every part of the industry, every part of the individual human being. But what you were doing was basically bringing in old pieces of block printing and recycling them into being new and using them again. But what are the other aspects of this whole life cycle that you are looking at in your process?
Okay, so mainly actually these wooden blocks were previously used in construction of houses. We're not really using the old blocks. So, the blocks are constructed in a very different way because they need to be printed, they are very functional. But the jewelry is made differently. So, we've innovated the block making process. The aspects which you're asking is basically trying the process. It's already 100% handcrafted. We've incorporated coloring them with 100% natural colors, and so at every step we are reducing our carbon footprint. Even at the packaging stage, we are using textile scrap and the pouches are made out of that. We're using old cartons to dispatch our inventory, and instead of bubble wrap we are using crushed paper. So at every step we are incorporating that along with the 100% handcrafted process.
That was actually one of my questions. If I order your jewelry, how am I going to receive it? In what? Will it still come in a carton like Amazon does, or am I going to get it in something sustainable?
So we reuse those Amazon cartons actually which they send. We stack up everything like my own orders or the neighbors. I just get them collected at a place because it's just thrown away after one use, which is not right. You know, cartons actually leave a more carbon footprint than we can imagine. So reusing that is actually very interesting and it saves a lot of money also. So it's a win-win.
Hi, lovely presentation and beautiful jewelry.
Thank you so much.
So I have two questions little related. When you go in for packaging such as what you described and the raw materials that you use, how would you bring your business to scale? Because that's really important. And the second one was really the end of life of the jewelry that you make. Is that decompostable totally or gets recycled? What about that?
Okay, so answering your first question, so we've already have in India, we have this treasure of block makers and it's a huge community. So we just need to train the block makers, the existing block makers, just teach them the innovated process, which is a little different from the traditional process because we are making another product. So we just need to train them and which will not take a lot of time and we can actually increase the number of artisans and then definitely we can scale that way. So the scaling process just requires that. Answering your second question, the end of life cycle. So we have not, we are just 4 years old, we have not introduced it yet, but we are planning to introduce a take back policy. We can actually remove the brass from the wood. We can use the wood in a different manner because we've already done that. The stock which is left with us, we actually cut it in a different way, present it and that's sold. So like we are never sitting with stock. So we can do that with the take back product. The brass can be again recycled, reused again. So that is one thing which we are thinking. It's completely natural because there's a metal and wood. So I don't think it really harms the environment even if it is decomposed. And since it's jewelry, I don't think it's going to thrown away so easily. They're beautiful pieces, like they can go for ages.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika Malhotra from Satat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our fourth finalist, PU.
Carpet industry is producing tons of waste every year. We came up with a solution where we are using their discarded yarns. We are creating handloom textiles for our garments. The moment I think about luxury sustainable brands, there are a handful of those brands. And that's where I started working on the concept of luxury sustainable fashion. A very important part of our sustainable method is modularity. So where we are creating our eyewear, footwear, as well as apparels, you can achieve different looks within the same product. That way you can increase the lifespan of a product. We have been able to upcycle somewhere around 50 kgs of carpet waste in last few months. We have also recycled around 100 meters of dead stocks and surplus textiles.
How many of us really care about the waste being produced by various industries and its impact on living beings and the planet? Well, a very few. But climate change is happening and our actions are causing it. By the time I'll finish this pitch, 70,000 kgs of carpet waste will reach the landfill. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pratyush, and my slow fashion journey started during my fashion school days when work was influenced by science and sustainability. I have been a part of an international sustainable project, have won an award for my ethical green collection, and have done my master's thesis on sustainable textiles and wearable technology. Currently, I am the founder of Pew, a luxury sustainable fashion brand whose core philosophy is based on the concept of circularity, where we are working on our mission to create luxury by using the most sustainable methods, materials, and craftsmanship. My focus is to incorporate traditional as well as modern methods to keep everything within our circular ecosystem. And all this is possible by collaborating with people and communities. So my most recent collaboration happened with a carpet export house. So we all know the huge amount of waste that textile and apparel industries produce. But do you know carpet industry produces few million tons of waste every single year, and out of which 75% reaches the landfill. And that equates to 3% of the total waste that reaches the landfill across all the industries globally every single year. And only 7% is being recycled, and the rest is incinerated, which leads to pollution and health issues. So yes, these numbers are alarming, and it pushed me to go deeper into it for some solution. And in our introductory video, you saw how we create handloom textiles using carpet waste. But also as a designer, it is very important for me to be able to use them smartly in order to show the world that something which is considered waste by many can actually add value to the wardrobe and in the lives of many artisans involved. So today in this collection of 6 looks, I have upcycled carpet waste and a damaged shirt, and I've also recycled plastic bottles and dead stock textiles. And since corsetry has been my expertise, its influence can be seen in this collection as well. And also one ensemble, our footwears and eyewear are created on the concept of modularity, which I believe is the future of sustainable designing. We have used upcycled carpet waste textile and recycled plastic bottles, polythene bags, and cassette tape textiles to create our bags and modular shoes. And this is what we do at our brand. We explore the vast world of circularity to create products which are greener, wearable, and luxe. And irrespective of how complicated our designs are, none of our textiles reach the landfill. And we even treat some of our garments with smart, sustainable finishes that not only add value to our products, but also helps in saving energy and resources. And today, if I win this award, I'll be spending, I will be investing my prize money on collabs, R&D, which is a very important part of our brand, and then fashion show and marketing for the brand's expansion. And before I end this pitch, I would like to say something which I strongly believe in, that fashion can be mind-blowing without blowing up the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratyush, and for that pitch. And I just wanted to highlight that you are in direct competition with RLAN. But I think the last four presenters and what we've also seen in the last three, and Bali Saab is here and Jaspreet are here, there are a lot of good models that are coming forward on how to recycle waste in the textile business, whether it's plastics or today we see two examples of the leather industry and also of the carpet industry.
Right.
And I think while all these efforts need to be scaled up, and meaning your vision, I'm sure, is to scale it up by a factor of 1 million in the coming years. I think Jaspreet and Rakesh, there is a need to bring in more industry, the carpet industry and the leather industry, the big names, because for them this is a big solution which they are not really looking at. They don't know about it or they are not bothered about it.
Right.
And what these youngsters are bringing on the table is something amazing, and I think we need to bring in the big people into this so that they can also start scaling it up at their level. They can create 1 million PUs or 1 million satats with the kind of money they have and the kind of reach they have. So I think that's a very important element that's coming out today. But congratulations, very, very good effort.
Thank you so much.
Maybe, thank you. Just to follow up actually on Atul's question and point, Pratyush, congratulations. I mean, amazing. I love your colors.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
They're also easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
So I think you've achieved that combination of great color, easy on the eyes. I think you would have very broad appeal to different cultures and markets internationally. Maybe just a follow-up question. How do you, could you speak about your supply chain? How are you collecting the materials that you're receiving? And how do you see that as being scalable if you do win and if you do grow?
Talking about the carpet waste right now, so we are associated with only one export house right now. It's been only 1 year, when we started the research and, development of converting carpet waste into, textile which can be used for apparel. Because, for me, it's really important to create something which is wearable, functional, and aesthetically appealing. So that's the reason, I thought to, bring in carpet waste because it's an untouched area. And I think, we need to put some attention. And so it took me a few months to come across someone in the carpet industry who, understood my vision. So currently we are associated with one carpet export house. And in that region, which is the name of the city is Bhadoi. So it's a hub of, carpet manufacturing. So we are looking forward to, collaborate with more export houses who are creating carpet waste so that we can upcycle more and more. Like currently at this stage, we are upcycling 100 kgs of carpet waste with the help of 20 weavers in that town. But our target is in the next 5 years, we can collaborate with at least 5 big export houses so that we can, not only, this is not only adding value to the product, but as well as we are making a community of weavers who can actually think of getting employed in an area which is untouched. And other than that, we are also associated with 50 small manufacturing units from where we are procuring our dead stock textiles for creating our products, like the embroideries and even the footwear. We are using the bits and leftover pieces. So currently we are associated with 50 small manufacturing units and one export house for different materials. And also we are making polythene bag textile from there are a couple of small families in Bhuj. So with their help, we are achieving this target of creating around 50 to 100 meters of this polythene bag textile to create our bags and modular footwear. So that is the thing we are working on right now. But there's a whole big future ahead of us. Thank you.
Hello. I have one question. So I see you've thought through the color palette and it's all sort of very fashion in that sense. You've got colors beautifully coordinated. How did you manage that if it's all waste?
Ma'am, because firstly, like, you know, my inspiration was post-apocalypse. So I chose colors which we were able to find in the surplus market in local areas like Govindpuri, Mangolpuri, and also we are associated with, you know, these small manufacturing units. So our target was to, for this particular collection I'm talking about, we had this color story, and we were picking up all those materials that goes with it, and that is how we achieved it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Pratyush Kumar from PU. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our fifth finalist, Humanity-Centered Designs.
Large amount of pre-consumer textile waste is generated at the production stage, which is mostly sent to landfills. We are a research organization with an approach to transform human-centered designs into humanity-centered designs through sustainable practices. Humanity-Centered Designs works with more than 150 apparel MSMEs. Each factory has approximately 20 to 25 workers. So we are helping all of these skilled workers to a sustainable transformation by providing them new identity of using recycled yarn instead of raw virgin yarns, which is much more impactful for the environment. We have already recycled over 35 tons of textile waste to create SCD tags. We have saved more than 2,000 gallons of water and 13% less discharge of microplastics into the drainage due to our ethical operations and sustainable practices.
That's what I said.
Hello everyone. It's no surprise that the Indian fashion industry comprises a large proportion of small and micro production factories. But do you know that 90% of them works in an unorganized and decentralized way and are mainly based in household infrastructures? They lack support. and as a result fail to embrace sustainable practices and operations. They face many challenges, and one such challenge is accumulating pre-consumer textile waste. Over 1,600,000 tons of textile waste is generated even before a garment reaches to a consumer in India. It is evidenced by Textile Journal of India. My name is Vishal, and here at Humanity Center Designs, we address this challenge through a circular waste management ecosystem in the Pushkar region of India. We are the very first organization in India to design and develop a local circular recycling framework that utilizes pre-consumer textile waste to create new materials in the Pushkar region of India. There are over 150 apparel MSMEs working in the region, and 90% of those value sustainability, but lack of resources, infrastructure and assets effectively reduce their impact, resulting into generation of over 200 tons of textile waste just within a year. But this is where Humanity Center Designs comes in. Our recycling framework enables those MSMEs to recycle and close the loop of textile waste within their existing resources present in the region. As an outcome of this recycling framework, it generates an innovative fabric made of pre-consumer textile waste. We have termed it as HCD Tax, Humanity Center Design Tax, which is the framework is now under the patent process of Humanity Center Designs. Here we can see the collection is whole made out of HCD Tax. It signifies that the material is highly durable, flexible and strong enough to be reutilized for any fashion and lifestyle product. The framework also includes our current customers such as Ram Exports, Ganesh Exports and 15 other manufacturers in the region who all follow our framework to close the loop of textile waste. However, we have reached our physical capacity, and with increasing interest from manufacturers within and outside the region, we quickly need to scale up from small scale recycling to fully functioning recycling operations. To do this, we need to arrange a wide range of resources, assets, investment into research, tools and machineries. We already have a proof of concept, working space, client hub. We have been awarded a small grant from London College of Fashion Global Pathway Scheme, have critical research support from Center of Sustainable Fashion, London College of Fashion, MA Fashion Futures and Apparel Administration. But we need your help. With the 20 lakh INR rupees, we will be able to divert over 200 tons of textile waste just within a year, and also develop a recycling framework in other regions of Rajasthan such as Jaipur, Jodhpur, Bhilwara, Udaipur, who are all into textiles, to close the loop of textile waste. And that's the equivalent of planting almost 40,000 trees in India. Imagine, you can help Pushkar become the first city completely erased of textile waste. Thank you.
Vishal, what a compelling case you've made.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, you're doing a great job. In your journey as a fashion designer, as a designer, what made you look at sustainability and make it the core?
Well, I graduated from NIFT Jodhpur and I joined my father, who is also one of the MSMEs manufacturer in Pushkar. But whenever the small manufacturer tries to go in international market, there are regulations that you have sustainability compliances, you need these regulations. But the small manufacturer don't have resources to do this. There is no provided support by fashion industry, government leaders. That's when the sustainability factors and this regulation hit me. I decided to do my masters at London College of Fashion in MA Fashion for Sustainability. And that's when my project started shaping towards sustainability. And when I was working and doing my project, I started shifting my focus for the MSMEs, where I have born and brought up in, to shift my focus toward them so that I can help these MSMEs towards sustainable transformation.
Wish you the very best. You're doing a great job.
Hi, what a dream to make all of Pushkar circular.
One day we will definitely make it.
My question is, durability is also an aspect of circularity.
Yeah.
Now in mechanical sort of recycling, how do you ensure that the garments and the products are durable? Are you blending?
Yeah, we are blending. And can you all open those textile bags that you have got? This is the new version of HCD Tax. We have just did the prototype in an experiment in the Tirupur, where they use the recycled, we have used the HCD fiber and I took it there, and there's open and spinning machine. Because the woven fabrics has comparatively less demand in the market, but the knitted fabric has really huge demand. So I did the prototyping there with HCD Tax fiber, and now I want to establish this mechanism in the Pushkar region to develop this fabric locally over there. And this fabric is highly durable, flexible and strong enough. And yes, we are using composition, but the composition is only with the recycled fibers. The fibers that we are using apart from HCD fiber, when the yarn processing is done, there's always some waste salvages during the virgin yarn processing. So with that, the yarn factories are already recycling that. So we are using another that fiber with the composition.
Thank you. We wish you luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal Columbia from Humanities Center Designs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have our sixth and final finalist, Theli.
Each year, about 1 trillion plastic bags are used around the world. Theli is a vegan and sustainable footwear brand that creates sneakers from waste plastic bags and plastic bottles. All materials that we use in the product are made or derived from recycled materials. This includes the recycled plastic bottles and plastic bags that we use for the upper and the shoelaces, the waste rubber that is recycled into the rubber sole, and also the packaging that's made from recycled paper, and it's got basil seeds embedded in the box. So it's actually plantable, which makes it circular. Thelitex is a revolutionary new leather replacement that we've developed. It is a fabric that is made entirely out of waste plastic bags without the use of any chemicals. We've recycled about 50,000 plastic bags and 45,000 plastic bottles.
Hi, I'm Ashay Bhave, the CEO and founder of Theli. 1 trillion plastic bags are used each year around the world. However, there is no real way of entirely recycling these plastic bags on an industrial scale before us. Theli is a word derived from Hindi, which translates to plastic bags. We invented a revolutionary new leather replacement called Thelitex that's made entirely out of waste plastic bags without the use of any chemicals. With Thelitex, we created the Theli Y2K Pro. This sneaker is PETA certified vegan, ethically handmade, and made from 10 plastic bags and 12 plastic bottles. We also believe in complete transparency, which is why all of our products and packaging feature a QR code that verifies the materials, sources, and production processes behind them. We also follow a closed loop system wherein our trade-in model encourages customers to return their used Theli sneakers in exchange for discounts on their next purchase. This allows us to responsibly recycle or to refurbish and donate them forward. Since our launch in July 2021, we've recycled about 50,000 plastic bags, 40,000 plastic bottles, and produced 2,000 plus sneakers. We've made the collection of plastic bags consistently profitable and at the same time provided full-time employment, safe working conditions, financial education, and housing to 25 plus waste collectors in a previously unregulated and informal industry. Our shoe boxes are also made from recycled paper, and they have basil seeds embedded in the box, which makes them plantable. In 2021, we generated a revenue of $100,000 US and signed large distribution deals with distributors in Australia and in Europe. We are currently working on a more on a sub $50 US shoe for the Indian market and a more performance-based athletic sneaker. With continued expansion and distribution deals in other key regions, we estimate a revenue of $3 million US by the end of 2022. With the help of the prize money, we're going to fund research and development into Thelitex, as we also aim to sell the fabric on its own. We also aim to fund for the betterment and further education of our waste collectors. Thank you. Don't just do it right.
Yeah, thank you. Ajay, I think, big congratulations on some really great looking shoes.
Thank you.
And you've already worked out a fantastic, it sounds like a really good and scalable business model. Everything from the recycling and the materials and closing the loop and working with the collectors at the community level, which is wonderful. I would maybe just ask a question, I think a bit similar to has been asked previously by panel members. Shoes in particular, I've purchased great shoes that look fantastic and last, about a couple of weeks with heavy use. Can you speak about the durability of this product? They look great. Do they last?
So we've done all the industry-specific testing. So we've done a SATRA test, we've done a bend test, we've done a flex test. We're also working with India's largest footwear manufacturer right now. So they have their own set of tests that we've passed so far. And as far as just the shoe itself, once you wear it, they're as comfortable and as durable as any other sneaker. So you don't really feel the recycle bit of it. So they're going to last you 2 to 3 years. Apart from that, we've also collaborated with India's biggest shoe laundry, and they've given us their seal of approval. So they're able to refurbish them very easily. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I love shoes, so I love your products. And I love the basil seeds in the boxes. I think you've thought it all.
Thank you.
Very well done. Ajay, tell me a little bit about that exchange program that you have planned. You probably, it's not executed yet, but how do you intend to get old sneakers, old shoes back and give a discount to your customers for new ones? Even Apple offers me a discount for my old phone, but I don't think it contributes to sustainability. It contributes to their profits. What is your plan?
So, we want to make sure that, pretty much every single Theli sneaker is returned to us so that it doesn't end up in a landfill, and we're able to recycle them or to refurbish them so that we can donate them. So what we're doing is we're going to have a few retail stores around the world which are going to have a collection unit. So we're already at Level Shoes in Dubai Mall, which is the world's largest shoe store. So we're going to have a collection unit there. And the shoe laundry that I talked about earlier, they already have a branch in Dubai that is able to refurbish the sneakers or collect them back so that they can be deconstructed and recycled. And we've designed them in such a way that they can easily be taken apart and then recycled into their respective materials. In India, the shoe laundry that we're working with, they've got multiple branches in the major cities in India, so they're able to collect them directly from the customers and recycle or refurbish them for us.
Fantastic. You're not just doing it, you're doing it right.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for all our 6 finalists. All right, so jury, I'm sure this is going to be a tough one. Well, but before the jury steps out to compare the scores and choose the winner, here's a little good news for our finalists. The good folks at R-Elan have launched a special award since last year. The R-Elan Award for Excellence in Circularity to one of the finalists other than the winner, because every design entrepreneur is contributing immensely to the future of fashion and deserves to be recognized. Apart from the recognition, the awardee gets an opportunity to work closely with R-Elan to find solutions to push the envelope on circularity. Now, may I please request all the esteemed jury to please sit in the pre-function area and decide. Please, may we have a round of applause. Circular Design Challenge as a platform has been advancing year on year. And this year marks the launch of this stunning trophy you see right here, which has been designed by Satyajit Vitoskar, the winner of the Circular Design Challenge 2021. True to its values, the trophy has been designed keeping in mind circular principles and with discarded and recycled materials. Would you like to see how it's made? Of course. Here's a short video.
The shape of the trophy is based on the circular design, circular economy, and we've used multiple materials from waste, from excess to make this trophy. We've used materials like metal, plastics, wood, and created this stunning looking piece.
Well, I can see the atmosphere getting tense, but don't forget you are at FDCI X Lakme Fashion Week, and in the spirit of fashion, here's presenting a lineup of all the collections one last time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're all waiting to hear our winner, but before that, of course, can we call our 6 finalists once upon on stage and let them be here and you guys can meet them. So come on, let's put a round of applause, give a round of applause to Chamar Sudhir Rajbhar. Can we have you on stage? Sana Sharma from Sana. Radhika Malhotra from Satat. Pratyush Kumar from PU. Vishal Columbia from Humanity Center Designs. And Akshay Bhave from Delhi. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. These are your 6 finalists from Circular Design Challenge 2022. Take a walk. I need to know what more.
Because this is silly now.
Exactly.
Now do some conversation. Is there a mic? Can you send me a mic?
Correct, I have nothing.
Is there a mic? No, send it on stage front, interact with the designers, go. Just interact with the designers, go.
All right, guys, I can see you guys are looking all really nervous, but lots of hard work, lots of research, great work. Do you have your mics on? Okay, can I have a handheld mic? I would love to speak to every one of you all to just get a quick little bit before the winner is announced. All right, so I'm standing here with Sana. No, sorry, Sana, yes, of course. So Sana, we were all backstage, we heard your pitch. Of course, the jury had lots to ask from you. What is going to be your next thing if you are the winner? What is your next thing to do?
Well, the first thing would be to scale up what we're doing with the techniques so that more and more people can do it, try to inculcate it into the education system, which we're already working on. And we're also looking at a lot of futuristic concepts because our idea of fashion is that it blends with science. So we are working on newer techniques. We're working on ways of entering the metaverse as well.
Of course.
So that's how.
That's where the future is,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so let's do something light. What you're going to do if you are announced a winner? What's the first thing you're going to? Who's the first person you're going to go and meet, and who would you dedicate it to?
I'm definitely going to meet my family
Of
because
course.
because without them I couldn't have been here. And but later on I'll also relax and party with them.
Of course, 100%. That's what we're here for. You work hard, you party harder.
Yeah. And then the work starts, obviously,
course.
as Sana said, that upscaling and definitely go forward in marketing activities involved. Lots and lots of hard work to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Would you like to say something? Yeah, you're looking extremely nervous. I saw you backstage. You were the first one to come on stage as well, right? Yeah, you look like you want to say something. Would you want to say something?
No, I don't want to say a lot. I'm a bit nervous.
I mean, I know we're all nervous, but don't worry, our jury is right behind, deliberating. I know they are also nervous because they have to decide who the winner is. I can see the nervousness, but don't worry, all hard work will come true.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about those really cool shoes that you had those wooden block shoes that you had made. Any inspiration behind it?
The inspiration
They look like those
behind
old
is,
school padukas.
It's
if I remember.
inspiration behind is the paduka, and I want to experiment with this paduka. And these are the prototypes.
Correct.
It's not the final ones, which we showed here.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi. My God, you guys are all looking so nervous, No worry, it's all good. Work's done. The models were fantastic. Your clothes were showcased wonderfully. You have this beautiful audience here looking at you, and our juries are behind. So, all right. So, like I asked her, what are you going to do the first thing if you were announced as the winner?
I'm going to celebrate for sure. And then I'll meet my sister and my friends sitting right there.
Is there family in here to
yeah,
sister
there
well?
is. Of course, I'll be
Yeah, hi.
I'll be meeting them all. And then the next thing is we'll start with the marketing because we went commercially live January this year. So for me, it's now about business now.
Of course.
So I'll be, getting back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. All the best for that. Hi, so can you tell us what would you do if you're announced?
Well, you just said like if you work hard, party harder.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. Then I have my family over there. I will just meet
Hi,
them.
family.
And if we were to win, then the first thing for sure is to scale up our recycling model.
Absolutely. Well, all the best. All the best. You're 23. That's what I was told behind. Really? Yeah. That's don't worry. I've got one for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
You can hold that. You're 23. So I wanted to ask this actually to all of you, but I'm going to ask you this: how important is social media and the kind of platform the social media gives you to put your products, your voice, your message out there? And has that helped you with Theli?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, since we're a small startup, we can't have billboards. Not that we want to, but
well, you will reach there.
No, it's very
No?
not sustainable. We
That's
don't want to do
absolutely
that. But social media is great. There's also a lot of user-generated content, and there's a lot of questions that we get about how comfortable they are. But then you get some assurance when you see other people wearing the shoes and all of that. So it's great. Real people wearing our shoes is fantastic.
So, like you said, how wearable? I mean, how long-lasting are these? How long can these go on?
Just like any other sneakers,
And
2 to 3 years.
Say I buy a pair of Thelis and I use them for 2 to 3 years. What do I do with them? Can I give them back to you?
Yeah, you can use our trade-in model, and we can come collect the shoe from you, or if there's a collection unit near you, you can deposit it there, and then you get a discount on your next purchase. So.
Well, you're 23. How are you going to party if you're the winner? Huh?
I'm just going to meet
And
up with my
celebrate.
friends, go out and stuff, and then it's back to work.
Back to work. Well, I know for a fact that's going to happen, and our jury is right there behind in the pre-function area working. Well, one final round of applause to our wonderful 6 finalists. Want to take a quick walk, you guys? Yeah, let's go. Let's do one quick walk. Yeah, on the stage. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, finalists. You all can stay right here with me. Are you all ready for the results? I know I am, and let's break the tension. So let's invite our jury back on the dais. Oh, looks like the jury is taking a little longer. All ready? All right. Now I would like to invite Mr. Hemant Sharma, Head Polyester Sector, Reliance Industries, Mr. Sunil Sethi, Chairman, FDCI, and Mr. Jaspreet Chandok, Head of Lifestyle Businesses Rise Worldwide, to join our jury on the dais, please. All right, without much further ado, it's time. It's time to award our first winner, the winner for the Excellence in Circularity, our Elan Award for Excellence in Circularity. And for that, I would request Mr. Sharma to please announce.
So the Ireland Award for Excellence in Circularity goes to Sana Sharma. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to announce the winner of this year's Circular Design Challenge. And for that, may I please request Mr. Sunil Sethi to do the honors.
The winner of the Circular Design Challenge is Piyu Pratyush Kumar.
Congratulations, Piyu. Shweta Salve, saying thank you for being here today with us. Have a wonderful day. Watch the other great shows here. Thank you and goodbye.